Sports show, we back, baby. Drone and yo, you ready to go? Then let's start the show. Two dogs are back with a brand new season. Yeah, you know the reason. Sports talk, flavor, got that extra seasoning. Drone and yo, stay on the go. Looking for scores and stats, then this your show. Two dogs, they got that breakdown. Yeah, we throw down in T-Town. Look no further, Dan and Ant. You have just found the number one sports talk show. Savage picks from yo, big dog picks from Drone. Wanna welcome y'all back home. Can't forget the latest news. Yeah, them dudes. Plus we them boys. Please say the noise. Free giveaways, highlights from the game today. Let's start the show. Come on, I lead the way.
What's up? It's the Two Dog Sports Talk Show coming at you this Tuesday afternoon in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the weather is feeling real nice and feeling real toasty. Outside is not cold. It was just cold. We had snow flurries earlier this week. It's not snow flurries today. It's sunshiny. It's feeling good. You can walk outside, ain't got to have a coat on, and the sun just beaming on you, and you're feeling so good like Superman. You get strength. You go up there and you just wave your hands out and you just say, hit me again and hit me again, because that sun feels so good on your body. You just get a little bit of strength. So if you're sitting in the house in the dark and you got the windows closed and all the lights up and you're just feeling so weak, just open the curtain, go outside and stand in front of the sun a little bit and just get some strength. But don't stand too long, because you ain't got no suntan lotion. You might get a little sunburn. But it feels so good. And it's whoo, boy, it was a good weekend of basketball, March Madness all day long. So if you want to watch ball, you was able to watch ball. But now it's time getting down to the nitty-gritty of almost a month and a half of NBA playoffs. We got the NFL draft coming up in 2 weeks. Then we got NFL rookie OTAs and all that. Then you're gonna have rookies soon. You're gonna have rookies reporting to camp and all. Then we're getting it. It's just gonna be moving along and moving along. You know how you got baseball. We don't talk about a lot of baseball on this show, but you got baseball and they talking about the turbo bats and people hitting home runs out the wazoo. You got the LA Dodgers, they going crazy where they just whooping up on everybody because they got the biggest payroll in sight, and they got all the players that you can think of that is just dominating everybody. You got Ohtani just doing his thing. He ain't even started pitching yet, and he just showing out. Well, it's just crazy. If you love sports, it's the time. You got WrestleMania that's coming up in about another 2 weeks also. So it is the nice time, and we talking sports here on the Two Dog Sports Talk Show. What's going on? Yo, how was your weekend, man?
Pretty good, bro. It's this weather's strange, bro. Like last 2 days it was 30s, 29 for the lows. It was cold in the morning. Now today it's 75. So can we keep 75 for a minute? Because we had enough thunderstorms and flood warnings and flood watches and tornado watches and tornado warnings to keep me good for the rest of the spring, bro. But I know this is just the beginning. We ain't even got to May and June yet.
I wonder, man. I wonder if it's gonna be in the 70s. You know, if it's 70s, 80s, I'm cool. But you know, we don't need 30 days of straight 110 and 100-degree weather. We don't need that, man. They can keep that down there in Arizona, man. They can keep that weather down there where you sitting there gotta time yourself to run out of the car so you don't get hit in the heat. So they can keep all that. We don't need that down here. You know, just keep about 70, 80 with the sun shining. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, but you know, come July and August, it's going to be 70-something at night, 90-something and 100-something in the day, bro. You know it's coming, bro. You just make sure that your air conditioner is running real good and the AC in your car is working real good. Because them is going to be mandatory come that time of the year.
But
you
got? You got to do more than that, man. You can have your AC running, but if your car on 4 flat tires, you ain't doing no good. So you got to make sure the AC running. Make sure your radiator ain't busted, so you don't put no just straight water up in your radiator. All it's gonna be just
antifreeze.
Yeah, you're gonna have just nothing but boiling water. You ain't making maltomilk up in your radiator, so you don't want to just have that. So you got to make sure you got some antifreeze up in there.
Yeah.
Make sure that you got some good tires. You don't want to be riding around on no ball tires.
No.
Otherwise, you're going to be driving down the street and you're going to have 4 flat tires and got a big blowout. So you don't want to do that. So all the men or ladies, if you don't have a man, still make sure that your tires are not bald.
Yes.
Or if you got a man and he lazy and he don't want to do nothing, women, make sure that your tires are not on bald. Make sure you got some good tires so you don't have no blowout on the street.
Make sure your tread is at least a 5.
Yeah.
Tread is at least a 5.
Yeah. So you're on $2 Sports Talk Show. We make sure you're taken care of. I told you we give our honey-do list at the beginning of football season, everything else. I'm telling you, because y'all know this is our time that we give the list out because basketball season's almost over. So as soon as basketball season's over, we'll give out the list on what y'all need to do before football season starts.
Yeah.
But not right now.
Come August, honey-do list out the window.
Yeah, we can't get a list now because it's still basketball season.
It's still hoop season.
So we can't give you that list now.
No.
But around the basketball season, we give you that list.
Yeah, the honey-do list come out, and it is due by, I'm going to say, August 12th.
Yeah. We giving y'all a mini honey-do list right now, which is make sure that your tires is taken care of because it's getting hot, so you don't want you to have no blowout. Yeah. Making sure that you don't have just straight water up in your radiator. No. Making sure that you have some antifreeze up in there.
Go and get your oil changed.
Make sure your oil changed for the summertime because we don't want you to have no crud up in there and your car start knocking, knock. We don't want that. So we make sure you do that, and We ain't doing no Nickelodeon around here. We don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that you have that. Make sure that you got some Freon up in there.
Yeah.
So you don't be wrong. Yeah. We can't have you walking around with hot. Where you got to have all the windows down. Yeah. Trying to drive. You ain't driving no school bus.
Yeah. Cause the last thing you want to do is see somebody with all their windows down and your AC on, and you just look at them, and they look at you, and they mean mug you, and you be like, bro, what I do?
They mad at you because you got air. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we don't want no women to get in a fight because she mad at you because your man done made sure that you got AC and she ain't got no AC. Yeah. We don't want that, so we want to make sure that you got all that,
We want peace and tranquility.
That's what it is. We want that peace and tranquility. That's what we're about here. We want the peace and tranquility. So we want to make sure that, so that's how we want to do it around here. So we make sure everything's right. So that's the mini honey-do list that you need to get done right now, and then we'll give you the big honey-do list later on down the line.
After hoop
is over.
Yeah.
So after hoop, we'll give you the big honey-do list. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about March Madness. We had 2 big March Madness games with the women and the men. Both of them was big games. Both of them was exciting games, and we're going to talk about it when we get back here on the $2 Sports Talk.
I wanna be just like Christ. 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 I wanna be just like Christ.
I had a rough life, cause a lot on my own in my younger life. I was a rolling stone. If you're looking for me, I'm probably at home unless I'm ministering. Then I'm out on the road. Had a short fuse, TNT would explode. PTSD from street life, I've been told. Got soft in my heart, used to be stone cold. Was a dead man walking, Lazarus, Ben Rose. I'm so thankful Blessed to see another day. Risen the Bible Belt, okay, LHMOMA. Used to run D plus MC, now I walk this way. Faith plus grace. Once you've had a taste, I'ma serve him till I see my Savior face to face. Store this word in my heart. Cut and paste, copy of Christ. Etch a sketch, I'ma trace his steps. No stutter steps, run the race of faith.
How to order chicken wings. Number 1, find a good wing spot.
I know a wing spot, Max Wings.
Number 2, decide if you want a combo or if you want to order a la carte.
Huh? What's that?
Well, combos come with chicken, veggie sticks, fries, and a drink for a discounted price. A la carte means that you order each item separately.
Ah, okay.
3, decide if you want bone-in, boneless, or cauliflower wings, and then determine the delicious flavor you want on your wings.
I didn't even know cauliflower had wings.
You learn something new every day. Have you been to Max Wings?
Yep.
Max Wings is located at 782 East Pine Street in Tulsa. We're open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come to Max Wings, home of the dry rub fries.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Watts, the Community Development Director for Supporters of Families with Sickle Cell Disease.
And my name is Lindsay Corbett, Community Health Worker Director of Supporters of Families with Sickle Cell Disease in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like you, we are weary of this pandemic. Unfortunately, people of color are disproportionately affected by this virus. The COVID-19 vaccine has been shown effective, not in keeping us from getting the virus, but from hospitalizations and death.
So let me ask you, will you roll up your sleeve and get the vaccine? It's the best shot we've got at fighting this virus. Do it for your life, your family, and your community. To find out more information about the COVID-19 and how it's impacting Oklahomans like you and me, and to find out vaccination sites, go to vaxok.org. That is vax, V-A-X, OK.org.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
The children of the highest, Abba, Father, Yahweh, your highness. They don't understand his ways cause they blinded. So when they come against us, get love with kindness. I know you in the press, told that you less pressure from the stress, cause you being blessed. The Lord brought you to the service, to serve him service, purpose driven. You driven with a purpose. Your friends betray you in the worst way. What that just means ain't when your friends in the first place. My brother pity them, my sister don't hate. We must show them love, like Christ showed us grace. It's easier said than done, but it can be done. Please believe me, send the prayer to El Capitan. They want you to curse them back with the curse words. Go to the word first and let the word purge. We got the Lord with us, and this here is the proof. Father, please forgive them. They don't know what they do. They violent with no wisdom, they mindless. So like Christ, yeah, we kill some with kindness. We are the children of the highest. Abba, Father,
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Talk Show here on KBOB 89.9 FM. All right, y'all, we back, baby, and we're talking some March Madness. We had two good games this week, and first game we're gonna talk about this female game between the UConn Huskies and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Everybody looked at this game and they just knew that the Gamecocks was going to probably win. I had the Gamecocks winning because my theory was to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And I knew that the Gamecocks they hadn't had the season that they had in the past years. I understood they didn't have an inside presence that they normally have. Normally, Don Staley have the inside presence whenever she's made it and went all the way. And when they won their championship, they had an inside presence. Asia Wilson, they had that inside presence. And this year they don't have that inside presence. And UConn beat them down early during their season. And what people didn't realize that last year UConn had a good squad, but their whole starting five almost was hurt the entire season. Even going almost 6-7 deep, their players was hurt almost the whole season last year. And so those ladies that wasn't supposed to play had to play. And so they got viable playing time and in the tournament. And they took Iowa down to the last second and only lost by 2 points. And so this year, UConn started clicking on all cylinders. And Paige Beckers, which I told people underestimated who Paige Beckers was. They underestimated that this young lady, do y'all not understand, she was an All-American. Do y'all not understand she was, before Caitlin Clark, it was Paige Beckers. That's who was the one. That's who was the girl that everybody was talking about. And then she ended up hurting her knees. She ended up having two knee injuries, ended up having to have surgery. So she wasn't on the map. And so Caitlin Clark took over. But Paige Beckers never lost her shot. Paige Beckers never lost who she was. And no, so this year, Paige Beckers in this tournament, she showed y'all. She came back and she told y'all in this tournament, she said, I'm that dude. I'm that one. And she showed y'all that she was that one. Paige Beckers is the truth. The young lady, she has a game. She has a jump shot, inside game, outside game. She plays defense. She's not a liability on defense. And UConn, they put it on South Carolina. South Carolina, they had shooters. They have athleticism, but so does UConn. UConn had a bench. So just like South Carolina had a bench. But UConn also had an inside game. They had an inside presence. And UConn put it on South Carolina, and I got to give it to UConn and Coach Ariema, and they won their 12th national championship. He's the winningest coach in college basketball, men's and women's. And hey, more props. It was a good game. South Carolina, they got out to a 10-0 lead, but they couldn't hold on, and UConn just showed their dominance. The strong freshman, she's coming back, and UConn just reloaded all over again. And they losing Fudd, they losing Beckers this year, but UConn has a cast that's going to come back next year. It's going to be interesting because I do believe that South Carolina is going to get an inside presence, and it's going to be a fight. You got Juju will be back next year with USC. It's gonna be very interesting next year in women's college basketball. But UConn, you got to give UConn their props. They did what they had to do. What say yo?
I was going with South Carolina. I thought it would be some adjustments made from them playing each other earlier in December, and I was expecting a better game. It just seemed like once South Carolina got out to the fast start, and they called that timeout, and after that they start playing lights out. Strong is not really to be messed with down low. How do you block somebody's shot, grab the rebound, and pass it before you ever jump back while you in the air? How do you do that, bro? I just saw some stuff that I ain't never really seen before, and I was like, South Carolina looked like a high school team against Connecticut. Because, when we get to championship level games, we expect a good game. We're expecting a collision of two colossal programs who's well coached, and it's gonna come down to the wire. We didn't get that in the women's. We just saw pure domination.
But the thing is, imagine if if Connecticut was healthy last year. This is what you would have seen
Last year,
but you would have seen a better South Carolina team that had an inside presence against this UConn team. This is supposed to have been the UConn team that you're supposed to be seeing last year.
So but I'm gonna say this: the women's have more superstars. Notre Dame is coming back. I heard with their full squad.
No, you had the one lady that's supposed to be coming out, but she's committed to TCU.
Yeah, she's transferring.
She's transferring. Well, she's supposed to be coming out this year into the draft, but she went into the transfer portal, and now she's committed to TCU.
And I think she got like $7 to $10 million too. In NIL money.
She getting paid though.
Yeah, she got to the bag. So I'm like, hey, I would stay in school too if I can get $77 million, $10 million, and I'm on a full ride scholarship where my room and board is paid for, my food is paid for, and I can put $7 million in my pocket. Huh? What Bubba Dub say? Never. I'll never go to the league. I get $7 million.
Yeah. But what hurt? I think what hurt South Carolina for Wiley normally comes off the bench, and she's been their high point girl coming off the bench, and she only gave them 9 points.
Yeah, when she usually give them a dub.
No, she normally gives them about 20, 25 points. She only gave them 9 points coming off the bench, and that hurts.
Yeah, that definitely hurts, especially if she's your off the bench scoring power.
Their 2 high point scorers comes off the bench.
Wow. Well,
that's how talented South Carolina is.
Yeah, but I didn't see it come Sunday.
Connecticut just shut them down.
Made them
that experience and that bench play. They just shut them down. When you evenly match talent for talent, but then you got one side got an inside presence, another side don't.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
And one side hitting their shots,
and the other one ain't.
It makes a difference.
Yes.
But I like the girls' game because I think the girls' game it is like you said, you have notoriety, you know who the players are.
Yes.
It's an exciting game. You go back to the Pat Summitt days, the early days, to now.
Big difference.
The play of the young ladies is so much different.
Yes.
The people want to say, well, I understand. I do. I believe Gino Auriemma is a heck of a basketball coach.
Yes.
I believe Pat Summitt is a heck of a basketball coach.
Yes.
I believe they top notch. I believe they're able to coach. They can take men and be just as successful.
Yes.
But the talent pool that they were coaching against back then when they started wasn't the same.
No, it's a lot more vast. It's way more vast. It's way more vast than it was back then. We have much more talent with AAU basketball and the ladies being able to play that. You seeing a much different skill set. We have more shooting, better passing, and better defense.
And better the athleticism.
Yeah, and better athletes.
The skills. It's so much different. And a lot of people don't want to admit that and want to say it, but the skill set is so. You had basically 2, maybe 3 teams or 4 teams that had the talent.
Now,
all the other teams didn't have the talent. Now, there's so much talent and so much skills and athleticism out there it's not just 2 or 3 teams that's getting the talent. You have a plethora of schools and teams that's getting the talent, that have skills. So you don't have all these blowouts. You don't have all these lopsided games that you normally have. So the competition is totally different now.
Yes.
Where you have an Iowa State, you have a Texas, it's not just a Louisiana State. You know, back then it was a Louisiana State or Louisiana Tech. It's not just 3 or 4 teams. It's 10, 15, 20 teams that are good, and you don't have just these lopsided blowout games.
Yes.
And
most definitely.
But I think, like we talked about before, I think the product is better, but the promotions still suck.
Yes.
That's my issue. The product is 140 and 50% better. But the promotion of it,
it's still lackluster at best.
yes, it's still very lax. It's still very lackluster.
Yeah.
It's still to the extent of how they were treated, to me, of how they were treated when March Madness came around and they gave them that Rudy Boot locker room.
Yes.
That's how I feel about how they promote it. That's how I feel about it.
Yes, I feel the same way. It seemed like more of the advertising dollars goes to the men, and the women are kind of like second-class citizens. But I heard next year that the Final Four is going to host both games, the women's and the men's. They're not going to be in 2 different separate venues. So I think that might help with the turnout, because a lot of people probably going to buy combo tickets where they get a ticket to the Final Four and the women's Final Four.
Well, the turnout is not the turnout is awesome.
I know,
the
but
place is packed. It's the promotion on TV.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, next year that the Final Four is going to host both. I forgot where it's at, but it's not going to be in Tampa. The women is in Tampa, and the men going to be in San Antonio. They're all going to be under the same umbrella and at the same location.
And if they do that, I've been hollering about that for a while. And if they do that, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, so, but I'm just saying, for the turnout, I think the turnout would be even better, because you're going to get a combo ticket where you get to watch both.
But still, the promotion ain't gonna be the same, cause you got the men. Excuse me. The men are promoted on Channel 6, CBS, and the women are promoted on ABC, Disney.
Yeah.
So that's 2 different promotions. So how you gonna work that out? They might be in the same city, but they might be in 2 different arenas.
Well, Paramount has the contract for the Final Four, and as you can see, they have taken all of their broadcasting channels, all of their major ones, to make sure that every game is televised. That was probably part of the package that they came with in order to lure, because I'm pretty sure ESPN wanted the Final Four, and I'm surprised that they don't have it.
I'm not.
But Paramount does a very good job with it, especially bringing in Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith in as analysts. So I think the product is excellent, but we need to bring up the scale for the women as well. And I don't know how ESPN is going to be able to do that.
For one, they got to get it just off 2 channels. You got it on ESPN and ESPN2.
So you
and you might show it on ABC.
Yeah, once it gets to the the Final Four.
So where Paramount, you see every game is televised.
All 128 games.
And I'm not saying every game is not televised with the women, because I think every game is televised. It's just the way it's promoted. It's like it's hard to find or it's hard to
It's
see.
like, yeah, it's on.
Yeah,
it's here, but
I heard it's gonna be televised, but
okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's like it's second nature.
Yes.
It's like it's not important.
Right, like it's second class.
Yeah, but that's the women's game. But last night we had a major men's game, and I'm not upset because I really don't take it as serious. But you know, I do my March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
And I registered in the first take March Madness bracket, and you had over 480-something thousand people that registered in the first take bracket. Before the game started, I was ranked number 7. Number 7 out of 580-something thousand plus people that registered. After the game started, and after the game was over, I was ranked number 21-something thousand. Why?
2 points.
Because of 2 points and the Houston Cougars decided to choke. And I went from possibility of being ranked number 2 out of over 580-something thousand people, because there was one person that was in front of me that was in first place. I know he's probably sicker than I am because he was in first place.
Did he have Houston winning?
He had Houston winning. He was in first place.
Oh, so he came up shorter than Webster.
Yeah.
Came up short.
He was number 1. And he had Houston winning. I would have been number 2.
2 points.
And so it's crazy because I'm like, Florida gave Houston every opportunity to win this game. And Houston just didn't want to capitalize on it. Opportunity after opportunity. They came down, they gave the ball away. Came down again, gave the ball away. Came down again, gave the ball away. I'm like, how many opportunities does Florida have to give you? It's like me giving you cookies and you keep giving them back to me.
Yeah, which I ain't gonna do.
Dude, you said you want them. I'm trying to give it to you.
I'm gonna eat them jokers.
Well, they didn't want to eat them.
I don't know why.
They didn't want the cookies. The cookies were good.
Yeah.
They had chocolate chip. They was made with real sugar
And real butter.
and real butter. You know, on the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Where Denise was had the summer party.
Yeah.
For a little stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And they was searching for food. and Denise served them fake cookies without real sugar. And the other boy, they found a cake, and the boy said, "I'm not eating nothing in this house." Little boy said, "I ain't eating nothing in this house." And the little girl tasted it. They found a chocolate cake, and the girl tasted it and said, It look real. It tastes like real sugar." Well, they tried to give them, it tastes like it's real sugar, man. And they just didn't want to take the cookie, man. And they kept giving it away, dog.
Well,
I don't get it. I don't get it. For one, I don't understand why they didn't keep going to Roberts, because Cundiff couldn't hold them.
True.
They couldn't stop him inside, because once Cundiff couldn't hit a layup, you had the backside. 2, I don't understand why old dude kept making stupid fouls, going over the back for Houston. He was making stupid fouls. They didn't make no kind of sense anywhere, shape, form, or fashion to me. I didn't understand that one nowhere, none at all. Didn't understand that one. Tutler.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Tutler kept going over the back. We was taught in elementary, if they're in front of you, you can't get the ball over the back.
Right.
So, with the defense that Houston plays, I don't understand it. You had a 12-point lead. and you allow them, and their best player was not having a good game. And you allow Morris to step up. I don't get it, man. Let me know what you think, yo.
First of all, the most dominant team that I saw in college basketball was the Houston.
Not Morris, Martin.
Yeah, Martin. Was the Houston Cougars. They shut the game before this. They shut down the number one player in the nation, Cooper Flagg. He had 26, but he had to work for every point he got.
Hold on, time out. No, they didn't shut that boy down. They didn't shut that boy down.
Okay, but
they didn't shut that boy down.
Okay, Duke usually averages 83 points a game.
They might have shut Duke down, but they didn't shut him down.
Okay, Duke averages 83 points a game this season. They said Houston was like 28-0 if they held teams under 70 points. What did Duke have? 67. They held them under 70 points. The national championship game against the Florida Gators. What was the final score? 65-63. They held Florida, who was a top 5 team in scoring, under 70 points. The main dude for Florida did not score first half. When you put those pieces together, you're supposed to win the ball game. And like Drone said, they kept giving them cookies and kept giving them cookies. And Houston, instead of eating it, said, no, we're going to be nice. We're going to give it back to you. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. So I'm just not understanding why down the stretch we didn't go to the big dog who was eating all night long and let him go and get a bucket. I know Cryer was the man, but Cryer wasn't on his game last night. The big dude down low was on his game and was scoring convincingly and consecutively. Why do you not go? You milk him until he's dry. You milk him until he's dry. I'm gonna keep saying it. You milk him until he's dry.
You milk him like a cow.
You milk him like a cow. If you keep going, what we used to say in football, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If they can't stop it, make them keep running it until they have to stop it.
You run it down their throat till they
stop it. Till they do something different that makes you have to do something different. So I didn't understand why they didn't keep going towards the big man. And why did we start trying to use the outside? Because we go inside. If he didn't get the point, he was getting fouled.
I think that's one of the issues that we keep wanting to do this pick and roll. Man, just do a two man. Go to a two man. Let Roberts post up on Condon and let him go to work.
Yeah.
Go old school.
Yeah.
Go to a 2-man game and let Condon let Roberts post Condon up and let him go to work.
And let everybody else stay on the backside and put them out at the 3-point line where he got plenty of space. And if they do try to double him, then you got an open shooter.
Yep, and ain't like he can't pass after double team.
Right.
Let him go to work, man. And I didn't understand because he came down. There was a couple plays where he came down twice. And he misused Condon. Condon couldn't do nothing with him.
Nothing. Then
they came down and they came down like 4 or 5 times after that and did not go back to him. Even Grant Hill was like, why ain't they going back to Roberts? Grant Hill mentioning on the air. I text a friend of mine. I said, why ain't they going back to Condon? Why ain't they going back to Roberts? And he texted me back and said, I don't know. That's what I be doing.
Yeah.
It's like against when Florida played Auburn. I said, I be going at Broom's hand every time.
Yeah.
Every
'cause
time he came down court, I'd be hitting that arm.
Yeah.
My friend said, he said, that's a little bit old school than Phil, the one I have on the show. He said,
Yeah.
He said, Rev, that's a little bit cruel, ain't you? That's a little bit cruel, ain't it, Rev? I said, hey, this is sports.
Yeah.
Every time
If you got a weakness in a fight, if he hurt his arm or hurt his side, then you keep going at it until he give up.
Every time Broom came down court, I would have been hitting Broom's arm.
And making him having to work.
Yep, make him have to use that arm.
Yeah.
Every time. But I'm not understanding why Coach Sampson didn't tell them boys. This is why I say sometimes we get too happy with the three.
Yes.
And because basic fundamental basketball, it works every time if we use it.
But everybody wants to use analytics, bro. Everybody wants to use analytics in this new style of playing when sometimes going old school works.
If you see what Clayton was doing, Clayton Jr. he wasn't scoring.
No, he wasn't on his A game.
But he was facilitating the ball and they was going inside.
Yes.
They was doing pick and roll, they was screening. They was dropping and backdooring. They was going old school basketball. And it was working.
But they actually have the height to do that. When you got 4 guys that's 6'10" and bigger, and the team you are facing, the biggest guy is 6'9", then they actually used the size and made it a strength for Florida. Because a lot of bad, especially going down the strength, that height and length affected Houston.
But Houston didn't really have a height, but they could have used it because they players had wingspan of 7 foot. They might not have had height, but had wingspan of 7 foot, and they can jump out the gym.
Yes.
So, and they was quicker.
Yes.
So, but they wasn't using it. And then it was like the guards was getting caught up because they was getting frayed and getting trapped with Florida's height, especially on them last 3 possessions.
Yes.
Florida was using their height to trap their guards, but their guards was panicking. Instead of rotating the ball, they was panicking.
Yeah.
It's like on that last shot of Sharp, when Sharp went up,
he should have shot
when Condon went up. If that was in the pros,
should have leaned into him.
They would have went up with Condon. When Condon went up in the air, they would have went up to him, leaned into him, and made the refs make a call.
Yes.
I would have made the refs make a call. Go. Ain't no way I would have dropped the ball.
No.
He knew the rules. He knew that by dropping the ball, he couldn't pick it back up.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'm gonna drop the ball. You up in the air?
Shoot it.
He up. You might as well go ahead and go up and make him foul you. Make the refs have to make a call.
Yeah. Most definitely.
That's why we did.
Yeah.
But hey, Florida did what they had to do.
Yeah.
Houston gave it to them. They capitalized on it, and Florida is the national champions.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
But we got a good game out of it, though.
Yeah, we got a real good game, and that's what you want. You had 4 number 1 seeds that made it to the championship, and that's where it's supposed to be. So we had 4 teams that gave us 2 good games in the Final Four, and we ended up with a good game in a national championship game.
Yes.
And that's all you can ask, and that's what you look for.
And we saw boys that played their hearts out. Both teams left it all on the floor that night. You can't say, oh, they didn't do what they were supposed to do because they were tired. No, them boys gave it all they had. They gave everything they had and left it all out on the floor. And that's all you can ask of your players that are college athletes, to leave it all out on the floor. And that's what we saw in all games in the Final Four.
All right, and we're gonna be right back here on $2 Sports Talk Show. We're gonna talk some NBA because we had some big stuff that went on today.
Yeah.
Here in the NBA. We'll be right back on $2 Sports Talk Show.
power. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson. Whenever I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I'm listening to The Bobby Eaton Show, 89.9 FM KBOB. For news, information, and critical analysis, The Bobby Eaton Show, that's where Dr. Umar hangs out.
How to order chicken wings. Number 1, find a good wing spot.
I know a wing spot, Max Wings.
Number 2, decide if you want a combo or if you want to order a la carte.
Huh? What's that?
Well, combos come with chicken, veggie sticks, fries, and a drink for a discounted price. A la carte means that you order each item separately.
Ah, okay.
3, decide if you want bone-in, boneless, or cauliflower wings, and then determine the delicious flavor you want on your wings.
I didn't even know cauliflower had wings.
You learn something new every day. Have you been to Max Wings?
Yep.
Max Wings is located at 782 East Pine Street in Tulsa. We're open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come to Max Wings, home of the dry rub fries.
The Event Center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Watts, the Community Development Director for Supporters of Families with Sickle Cell Disease.
And my name is Lindsay Corbett, Community Health Worker Director of Supporters of Families with Sickle Cell Disease in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like you, we are weary of this pandemic. Unfortunately, people of color are disproportionately affected by this virus. The COVID-19 vaccine has been shown effective, not in keeping us from getting the virus, but from hospitalizations and death.
So let me ask you, will you roll up your sleeve and get the vaccine? It's the best shot we've got at fighting this virus. Do it for your life, your family, and your community. To find out more information about the COVID-19 and how it's impacting Oklahomans like you and me, and to find out vaccination sites, go to vaxok.org. That is vax, VAX, OK.org.
I'm out of my element. Ain't talking the gospel, you're talking irrelevant. Addressing the elephant in the room, and our Savior's knocking, just let him in. And I never met a sin that he can't deliver. You see, he's the medicine. Dr. Abba, your honor, your judgment is righteous, and Christ is my lawyer. I'm innocent. Hard heart made me hard headed. There's some things that I regretted. God talking, but I wouldn't get it. People talking like I know where he's headed. Death had me, but you wouldn't let it. Jeremiah 29:11 said it. Now there's fire in my bones, check microphones, rents unpaid, no longer indebted. Elohim Adonai, Elion. El Shaddai, praise till I'm gone. Godly sorrow, repentance, salvation, how he rights my wrongs. Songs of praise like David. Binary victory, wave it. Was headed to hell in a handbasket. My life, Jesus saved it.
Hey, I've been walking through the desert, need a break. Life is hard and I got so much on my plate. Ay. So when I wake up, this is how I start my day.
See the grace of Yahweh. See the grace of Yahweh.
Ay, give me strength, don't know how much more I could take. Trials and tribulations, yeah, I can relate. I counted joy cause I know that's gonna build my faith.
See the grace of Yahweh. See the grace of Yahweh.
I look at sin and it's sickening. I sin again and I'm sick of it. Put up a fight, I ain't giving in. Temptation is everywhere, isn't it? It is. Carnal desires seem innocent.
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Talk Show here on KBOB 89.9 FM. All right, y'all. We had some big news happen before we came on the air. The Denver Nuggets, they fired their head coach and their GM. They fired their head coach, Mike Malone. And the Denver Nuggets, they're just in fourth place. They lost 4 in a row. They're basically one game out from the play-in game. They one game out from the play-in game. They said the head coach and the GM didn't get along. Rumor has it that they probably was going to fire Mike Malone after the end of the year. But still, playoffs start in another week to 2 weeks, and you fire your head coach? That is just ludicrous. It don't make no sense. Mike Malone just 2 years out from winning a championship. They 47-32. They was just in second place. 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, just in second place. That is, you're just seeing strange things happening. First, Luka get traded to the Lakers right in the middle of the season, which was odd. He didn't request a trade, didn't know nothing about a trade. All of a sudden, he wake up and find out, hey, he been shipped off to the L.A. Lakers. Then you have the Memphis Grizzlies. They fired their coach during the middle of the season, and they winning. Then you have Mike Malone. Who's next? Tibbs from the New York Knicks. He running their plays in the ground. I was talking earlier. I said most likely, if I'm Brunson, I'm milking that injury for everything I can, because I already know when I come back, I ain't finna get no break. I ain't finna get no rest. So I was milking that. If I'm him, I'm milking that ankle injury for everything that I can get out of it. Every second, every minute, every hour, everything. I'm milking it for all it's worth, because I know when I come back, I'm playing 38, 39 minutes every night from here on out. So I better get all the rest I can. And so it's
his
crazy.
His money is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm milking it, boy. I'm getting me some cookies and milk all day long, boy. I'm getting 10 packs of Chips Ahoy's, boy. I'm getting 10 packs of Chips Ahoy's and 2 gallons of milk, boy. I'm dunking every last bit of it, boy. I'm milking for every cookie there is, boy. But hey, that's just crazy though, man. It does not make sense that you fire your coach and you still in the playoff hunt and you have a championship team. And not only that, they let go of Russell Westbrook also. So it's not making sense to me. What say yo?
It doesn't make sense at all. I don't understand if you're in the top 6 and you finna try to make a long playoff run, why not keep everybody intact and then make a decision after the season is over, not before the playoffs? Playoffs?
Yeah.
So to me, that is a mind bender in itself. Especially these athletes that are pros are used to certain stuff to go on. They have a certain regiment that goes along with these games, and when you used to hearing a certain voice in the huddle or during timeouts, and now that voice is going to change when it's clutch time, what does that do for you as a player? The guy that you've been listening to, and if you've been there 2 or 3 years, you was with a championship team where you got to see all the confetti fall, and when y'all were winning, and y'all been close, and y'all went back to the playoffs last year, and y'all going back to the playoffs this year. So why all of a sudden now you want to change the voice of reasoning when it's time to be clutch?
Yeah, it does not make any sense to me.
As a player, what would you think, Drone? Like the dude you've been listening to, that you didn't want to help win you a championship, all of a sudden now that voice is gone.
I think something was crazy, because I'm like, if it's because we've been having it. Well, we've been having issues all 82 games.
Yes.
It's 89 games. We got 7-8 games left. We've been having issues the whole season. Now you want to get rid of them?
Yes.
I've been telling you about these issues, and you've been seeing these issues after the 20th game. Now you want to wait till game 82? Right before the playoffs?
And in the voice that you hear in the huddle, Mark Malone is calling plays when it's a timeout. Who calls the timeout? The head coach. Who's talking in the huddle during the timeout? The head coach.
You didn't want to fire him when he was on in the press conference cussing us out? You didn't want to fire him then? You didn't want to fire him when he was in the press conference calling us lazy, calling us idiots, and you didn't want to fire us then? But now we done went the whole season and 1 week before the playoffs. Now you want to fire him? Make this make sense?
Doesn't make none, bro.
Then you might as well let us play it all out.
Yes. Yes.
If you're going to fire him after the season anyhow, you're not supposed to get nobody else in here.
Let him ride it out.
Because it wouldn't be the first time a team done fired a championship-winning coach if they win the championship. If you don't have confidence that we're going to win it anyhow, go ahead and let them play it out.
You don't know what might happen.
Not saying they're going to win it, but I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, when you give yourself the best shot to win it, especially when he's been the voice of reason all of this time, why during the stretch run of the season, you fired a man?
And you don't give him any
notice.
Inclination, no notice, you just bring them both in. Y'all fired.
Y'all gone.
Get up out here.
Get up out. Get.
They pulled a Doge.
They said give him a pink slip.
They pulled a Trump and an Elon Musk.
Give him the pink slip.
You fired, dog. You fired.
You fired. Get. Go on, get. Go on, get.
I'm saying they ain't even give him a warning.
No.
They ain't even give him a heads up. They just said, "Hey, you
go
fired."
Go on, get.
They just played They just played.
Said, "Go on, get."
No, nothing. They just said you fired. That's the crazy thing. Yeah. But the ship must go on.
Yeah.
And you got to be professional.
Yes.
And I'm like what? And what's really happening with Westbrook? If Westbrook is really gone, because I did see that Westbrook was released. Now it might have been a hoax, but that's what I seen.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Thunder are taking.
So, if I'm Westbrook, I'm like, hold on, dude. I done played with y'all the whole season.
Yeah,
the whole entire season,
and been contributing. He ain't been a what's the word I'm looking for? He hasn't been condescending. He's been a team player. He's being productive. He's not costing them games. He's actually helping, and he knows his role. And you fired a man.
Well, I'm looking now to make sure.
So it's just crazy that a guy puts in that much work, goes through all of training camp, the whole season, and a week before the season ends, y'all say, "Hey, bro, we're gonna let you go."
That'll be crazy.
Yeah. Even though, but is his money guaranteed? Is my check still gonna come next week? That's what I'll be wanting to know. But I think if you get fired, you don't get no check, do you? Man. I hope he didn't have no plans for that money.
Okay. I'm looking at everything, and according to this, it's saying that he's still with him.
Okay.
He ain't been released yet, but I sure did see it.
Okay.
But right now, he's still
He's still a
with 'em.
Nugget.
He's still a Nugget.
They playing him over. I think his name is like Jordan Pickett on the Nuggets.
He's still a Nugget.
He's
ain't
still a Nugget.
He's still.
That sounds real harsh. He's still a Nugget.
Because I like Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook been playing. He been playing his behind off this year.
And he's been contributing.
Yes, he's been playing his behind off this year.
Because he's the main scorer for the second team. When they give Joker and Murray a rest, then Westbrook come in and do his thing. Hey, bro, I have a question, bro. What would you do if you was Phoenix?
Get rid of everybody on the team.
You just cut everybody. Even Booker?
Okay, no, he Russell Westbrook has not been released by the Nuggets.
Okay.
He's still with the Denver Nuggets.
But let's go on to Phoenix. What would you do with the Phoenix Suns? You got 3 players that should be able to play together. But now you're, number 11, number 12? You might not even make the play-in?
I will get rid of everybody on the team.
So you just fire everybody, even Booker.
Everybody.
Man. And what, just start over?
Start over. Clean house. You might as well. You might as well.
I wouldn't release Booker.
Because you done brought 3 coaches in there and they still ain't playing worth nothing.
Well,
the worst thing they did was getting rid of Chris Paul. Chris Paul was a leader on that team. Booker had some of his best years with Chris Paul.
But why they get rid of Chris Paul? Another voice? Another strong voice? You say his age?
Yeah, that was one of his age, probably his age and probably contract. But
well, I'm pretty sure he get a little bit of that some coins off in his pocket. That's the NBA. But I'm just saying, Chris Paul is a very strong voice, and I'm pretty sure his basketball IQ is really, really, really high. And he might be condescending in the meetings because he's probably going, wait a minute, coach. I don't think that's going to work. Shouldn't we dump it down here and cut this way? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure his basketball IQ is very, very high.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So I'm just saying, for a head coach who maybe is trying to run something that does not work for Chris Paul, you don't think Chris Paul might not say nothing in the meeting?
But I think he would. But I'm gonna clean the whole house. I'm cleaning the house.
Starting from scratch.
I'm gonna see what picks I can get for him.
And build it from there.
And build. You might as well. They not winning.
Okay.
They not winning.
And you don't think a player here, a player there is gonna help them turn the corner?
They already turned the corner.
But it went the opposite direction.
And they ran into a tree.
Yeah. Well, a couple of trees.
Well, stop driving with blindfolds on then.
Well.
So, you got, they done brought in Budenholzer, which I was never a Budenholzer fan.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, to me, he's a good coach, but he's not a.
What they gonna do?
Coach.
Fire Budenholzer and bring in Mike Malone?
Hey.
Or fire Budenholzer, bring in the coach that was at Memphis?
Taylor, I forgot his name. Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jenkins, yeah.
So, then what? If they don't win then what?
You fire again and start trying to do it again? So you saying stop all the what do you call it, foolishness? Stop all the foolishness.
Bill ain't been healthy.
No. But you can't trade him. He had no trade clause.
KD been hurt off and on. I don't really think he's happy.
But I heard he had a deal to go to State and he turned it down.
I probably wouldn't have went back to Golden State neither. There's a reason he left.
True.
There's a reason. There's a reason I left.
So he ain't coming back.
So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Now you got the Lakers playing the Thunder tonight. Everybody playing. Everybody. Thunder has to make amends.
For what happened.
For the blowout Sunday.
Yeah. But if I'm the Thunder, I might not start all my guys this week.
No, they starting everybody tonight.
They starting everybody.
Everybody playing tonight.
So it's playoff game.
You have to.
Okay.
They done lost 2 in a row. The 2 playoff teams. The number 2 team and the number 3 team behind them. Because Houston's behind them and Lakers behind them. And they done lost both. They done lost 2 in a row. They have to make amends.
So you think this is going to be playoff intensity game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot keep losing.
No, not.
I don't care. I don't care if you can say, well, we didn't have our guys. We didn't play. Bump. No. You lost 3 in a row to a playoff team.
That's not the mindset you want going into
no.
the playoffs.
And what I always said I was afraid of is what's gonna happen when the Thunder get in the playoffs and you got to beat a team 4 times in a row and you're not getting those calls. You're not getting that foul call.
Well, we'll see. They play tonight, and everybody's playing, so it should be a very intense playoff game.
And you got 2 teams
that are striving to win the West.
And the thing is, Houston are some rough riders.
Yes.
Lakers, right now, you wouldn't meet the Lakers till later on.
Well, you wouldn't meet Houston or the Lakers to at least the quarterfinals.
So it's very interesting. You don't really want to meet up with Minnesota, which I think the Thunder can beat. I think the Thunder could beat anybody. I don't really want to meet the Clippers if Kawhi is healthy. With a healthy Kawhi, that's gonna be healthy the whole series.
You want that part? You want no part?
I don't know if I want to meet that for 7 games.
Okay.
That ain't gonna be no pushover, dog. Kawhi's a whole. People sleep on Kawhi, and slowly the Clippers are slowly staying under the radar.
Well,
they 1 game out from being the 4th seed.
Okay.
And they slowly, gradually up under the radar, and Kawhi's healthy. That's
scary. Well, we knew that the West is gonna be a dogfight. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk in the West. Everybody's a contender, and everybody is a potential champion. So you're gonna have to bring your A game. That's all that means. It ain't gonna be. You can't take no days off. Ain't no days off. Ain't you show up 1 game and then you take it easy for 2 games? No, you can't do that. Cause every team, especially when it gets down to the 8, and number 1 faces 8 and 2 faces 7. Hey, it's who can play the best down the stretch. Who can stay healthy and who can play their game when it comes to clutch time.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's
Yes.
gonna be interesting, and I think the Thunder.
It's theirs to lose.
I think so. I think it is. I really do think it is. But I think the Lakers are a bigger threat than what people think they are.
Yeah, but you got the longevity. Yeah, I'm calling him the longevity guy. I'm not gonna say his name no more. The longevity guy.
Oh Lord God.
and Luka.
Oh God.
Longevity. That's gonna be his new title now. I ain't gonna call him Bron no more. That's longevity. Legacy guy. Longevity legacy guy.
On that
Knew that would get him over here.
On that crazy note, the scripture of the week is Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. That was Isaiah 54:17. You bark at us,
we bark back. Row.